Welcome back to The Inspired Entrepreneur with Heather Hope. Hey guys, welcome back. This is Heather Hope with The Inspired Entrepreneur podcast. How are you doing today? Welcome back. Happy Thursday. I was about to go to bed because I was tired. We were watching some TV. I was watching, what is that? Let me see if I can even think tonight. This is Wednesday night, right before I'm going to bed, because I forgot that I needed to do my podcast. It was on my mind all day. And then after dinner, I just got on the couch and we found another show to watch because we didn't have anything to watch. So we were watching, what is that? My Lottery Dream Home. And I watch everything on Discovery Plus. Excuse me. And so we watched like 3 episodes of this last season. I remember the season before that we were in California, and it was a nice little thing that we watched every week. I think it was like repeats were on like Friday night. I remember I think I was in San Francisco for the Abraham workshop last year. And so I always get to the hotel Friday night, sometimes Thursday night, it just depends. Or maybe it is Friday night. I think I only stay typically 2 nights when I'm going to California. So it'd be Friday night, Saturday night, and leave Sunday. Yeah, it's usually about that, about that length of time. Anyway, so I remember that Friday night I was in the hotel. I was right on the water and I was watching my Lottery Dream Home just like we did before. But anyway, so we watched 3 episodes. I came into my office to shut things down and I look at my computer and I'm like, why is my book open? I had this intuitive hit to get prepared for later because I was in a training earlier. I've been in a few trainings today, and I opened it up. I'm like, let's open my Google Drive to The Inspired Entrepreneur and let's get right to the page and get prepared for after dinner. Yeah, now it's 11 o'clock. I was like, oh crap. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so I just ate some strawberries for some energy and let's go. So today is March 25th and it's a 1 line. Let me where we are. I've been saying the last couple of days that this week was going to be really, really great, really good stuff. Okay, so March 25th. If you're new here, welcome. This is a daily podcast based on my book called The Inspired Entrepreneur. It's 366 days of what's it called? Inspiration for the entrepreneur. So basically the law of attraction for business owners / just about anybody really. Some of this is really business related, but it's all the same. It's all the same. You know, when you know how to manifest, like we're manifesting all the time. Like this isn't like, oh, I'm manifesting sometimes and I'm not. You're like all the time, right? We're constantly attracting. We are constantly attracting. Like everything that's in our life right now has been our point of attraction. It's probably currently our current what's it called? I just lost my thought again. So our current, what's it called? Our current attraction point. I think. Anyway, it's mostly based off of Abraham Hicks. Probably like 95% of what I talk about is Abraham Hicks. The rest of it will be Sanaya Roman and Bashar. I love both of them. I love Sanaya. Get all of her books, all of them. I think there's 6. I have 6. I don't think she wrote any more than that, but they're all amazing. Amazing. I like them better than Esther's books. No offense to Esther. It's just written different. You know what I mean? Like it's just a different person, different writer. And, Esther and Jerry and Abraham Hicks, their books are amazing, but there's definitely something about Sanaya. I wish she was out and about, and I keep saying I'm going to look her up and see what she's doing, but she's not out there like Esther is. So anyway, let's get to our message. It's a daily book. So you can open up to any page and it's going to give you the perfect message because that's what Source does. So today is you get to set the rules in your business. Period. That's it. You get to set the rules in your business. How the heck do you do that? Okay, so I think, let me scroll back. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday we were talking about there never has to be a sales conversation or trying to close a client. My dog wants out. I think he's so good. Like he won't, yeah, he's going back to his bed. Okay. That when you decide you want something, the universe lines it up. So when I started, I was a coach for about 6 years after I was a therapist for a long time. And I changed my niche a few times because I was just being kind of guided with topics that I really enjoyed talking about. And so when I got to money and business, I was really somehow into not doing things that I didn't want to do. Not like forcing things or not following like the quote unquote rules that people have created, because I understand how belief systems work and how, there are no rules except for the things that you have created. Kind of like what Abraham says about when we see numbers, like sequences of numbers. If you have made those important to notice, like important, like, oh, it's fun. Oh, it's cool. Oh, it's exciting. Oh my gosh, look, then you will see them. And you'll see them, the evidence of them, like when you see them, when you notice them, it means that you are aligned, like you're in alignment in that moment because you were able to see them. Does that make sense? So, excuse me. So when you notice something that you like or that you want more of or you appreciate or whatever, when you notice them in the moment, that means you're in alignment. Okay, I said that. But what that means is you're paying attention to those things. Now, in psychology or science, whatever you want to call it, they say that's the reticular, what is it called? I have really removed myself from psychology, but the reticular, you guys know, they say that's what it is. And I'm like, hey, you just go deeper. You can go deeper with psychology than what they say things are. They're just explaining things, but that is your inner being guiding you to what you want. You're paying attention to the things that you want. Does that make sense? I feel like there's like a sentence I'm missing. But so when there's numbers, not everybody cares about numbers, right? A lot of people don't care. But in our little world over here, we like sequences of numbers, right? It's like 111 or 1111, any of them, 222, anything, right? But you can create any numbers, any numbers that are important to you that you like seeing. I've got tons of them. I've got a lot of numbers. So of course, there was, I used to see, and I do occasionally still see this, I would see 1013. Well, 1013 was my wedding anniversary from my first husband. So yeah, it used to be important. Now it's not. And so there was a day a while back that I was like, I got in the car and it was like 1013. I'm like, okay, so universe, what I would like to see instead of 1013, I would really like to start seeing my birthday. I'm like, okay, so I want to see my birthday. 5/17 is my birthday. So I see 5/17 every so often. I see 3/15 quite often. And that's important to me because that was my grandmother's street address in New York, the last place she lived before she came to live with me. So 315. And when I see 315 or 217, which is her birthday, when I see, it's mostly 315 that I see. When I see that, I say, hi, Grandma. Because there's a lot of things that I see that represent her, like bunnies represent her. And when I see a bunny, they'll pop out of nowhere in my backyard and just run away. And so I'm like, hey, Grandma. There's little things like that I feel like she's, like I'm being guided to recognize that she's with me. And, because I forget, like, I can't think of everything every day, right? I've got a lot going on. So I forget. And I'm like, oh, hey, Grandma. Okay, you are here with me. So, and then I see 442, which is a friend of mine that I've known forever. She used to own a 442, a Cutlass, so it's important to her. And so she would, for the longest time, years now, we've texted each other at 442 saying 442. So I see that number a lot. All these numbers that mean something to me, I will look at the clock at those times. So that's just one itsy bitsy rule, if you want to call it a rule. Like, numbers are important to me. Okay, good. And Abraham's like, you can do that with everything. So we're all out here playing with numbers, right? Listen to what I'm saying. We're all playing with numbers. So basically, you know how Abraham says, let me know that you listen to Abraham, or else you're like, what the heck are you talking about, Heather? But the things that we get excited about, they're like, it's child's play, guys. It's child's play. You know what I mean? That's what they say, right? So we're all out here playing with numbers that we're seeing on license plates or the clock or whatever, right? And that's like everything to us. Yet we can do that with everything. We can do that with everything. So if we want to see pennies on the ground, guess what we can also see? I used to tell my clients, I'm like, think about a time. What is the biggest bill, like not bill, money, currency that you have found like on the ground? We find, pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, whatever, right? Sometimes we'll find $1 or whatever it is, right? So say you found a 20 once. And it was like really cool, right? So you have experienced it. I said, whatever that bill is, whatever that currency is, the amount was, make that important. So you know what? Think back at that time. Say it was a $20 bill. Personally, I would like it to be a $100 bill. But it's believable because it has already happened before, right? That's what I like about, instead of saying, well, I find $100 bills on the ground, that may work. If you don't have any resistance around that, if you can just say that just matter-of-factly, that would be really fun to play with. Play with it. Play a game with the universe. You know what, universe? It would be so much fun to find a $100 bill somewhere. It'd be so much fun. Not in my house, because I've got lots of $100 bills hidden in my house. So I collect them. So see, right there, I could say I collect $100 bills. And I'm getting my husband into it too. He's got a $100 bill stuck in his phone, like a little thing on his phone, and a $100 bill in his wallet. He got that for me to always have at least a $100 bill or $100 on you. And I have lots of $100 bills in my house, but nicely hidden. So anyway, so you can play a game like that. But, what I told my clients was that, personally, I find it just probably easier if it's something that you actually have done before. Then it would be more believable, right? That, yeah, you know what? I found a $20 bill once and that was so much fun. That was really cool. Like, and then you could say, well, you know what? It happened before. Guess what? It could happen again. It's believable. Or you can just play the game of, $100 bills, or you can just say, hey, universe, it would be really a lot of fun and let's play a game. And, you know, let's see what's the biggest bill that I can find. I hate that. I don't like that word bill. I'm talking about currency. What else do we call it? Bills, currency. What are they called? Dollar bills, whatever, right? You can do that. Like if you're at the ocean or along you're at the ocean and you just say, you make it this thing where, you know what, show me when the dolphins jump out of, I'd like to see the dolphins. I'd like to see dolphins today. Or, guide me to look at the ocean when there's dolphins. And then all you have to do is just relax and just have a good time. And, at some point you're going to look over where there's dolphins. And like, hey, cool, thanks. So let's play with that. Let's not, the numbers are awesome. They make me smile. They're like excellent. They can make a point with when you're thinking about something or you're talking to somebody about something that is a good idea or a good statement. And you glance over and the clock says whatever it says, right? 11:11. It's like, oh, cool, thanks. I'm on the right path. So, like, it's funny, I have a lot of animals in my backyard, birds and chipmunks and a lot of birds. I feed them every morning. I have a lot of birds. They're so funny. They're so used to me coming out every day. It's usually about 10:30 when I'm making breakfast. I go out while my food is cooking. I'll go out with all their food. But before then, they're like starting to gather. A lot of quail, a lot of little birds, and the chipmunks. I've got at least 4 chipmunks out there that are just playing around. They're looking for the food. They know the lady inside this house is going to come out any minute now and give us food. And so I just see them like lining up, like waiting. It's hilarious. And if I forget, wherever I am in the house, I'll end up glancing out the window and there's like a couple of quail out there. Like no matter what room I'm in, it's so funny. I'm like, oh, I'm being stalked by the quail. Anyway, but play these games with the universe. So let's get back to the message today. You get to set the rules in your business. Okay, so I had a list of rules. Let me see. Hold on one second, guys. I'm going to twirl around. You can't see because I'm not on video today, but I have all my journals from the last couple of years, and I think I can pull the right one. Hold on. But I had written down my rules. Let me flip to them. This was, I was talking about how, I think it was yesterday, about like having your energy on fire. Well, this is the first journal that I started doing that. I can't even read because it's too dark in here. I've got lights, but it's just dark. This is not, hold on. Oh, wait, here we go. We're going to find it, guys. But I created these rules, and one of them was, like I talked about yesterday, that I don't do sales calls. Well, I don't do them now because I'm not a coach anymore, but that the people who want to work with me, they will contact me. Okay, so, when I was a therapist, that's the way it was. Like, I've always been in professional type of fields that, or like when you're in business, like customers or clients come to you, right? I don't go to them and try to start a conversation and try to get them to work with me. You know what I mean? So I have a different mindset. Coaching is, obviously it's unregulated here in the US, but it's like basically a free for all. But coming from a highly regulated field, it just, a lot of it just didn't feel right for me. So I never wanted to message people. I thought that was kind of tacky, and no offense to anyone who possibly does that. But, I had worked with a couple of MLM companies before that, and that's what it feels like to me. So I just don't like people messaging me. And I don't like messaging other people. So I'm into more of the attraction, right? And like, I'm going to put my stuff out there and attract my perfect clients. They will come to me, like they will know. And that was yesterday's message of that they just know that they want to work with me. It's that innate like intuition. I'm still flipping through my pages here of, yes, I want to work with her. And I just completely trust that. I mean, there's only been a couple of times that I worked with somebody that I didn't really totally mesh with. I mean, I'm pretty easy. Well, I'm going to say I was pretty easygoing. I am until it comes to Abraham. I'm not all that easygoing. I try not to get in conversations with too many people anymore about it because everybody's got their thing about belief systems and whatever. But that's why I'm not in that many groups anymore, especially Abraham groups. They're just not in that many Abraham groups anymore because people just say so much crap that's not true according to Abraham. So, or it doesn't have to be true, right? We create the rules. So that's the thing. We create the rules based off of our belief systems of our life. So we create the rules of our life. So when you hear somebody say, oh, I'm always going to be poor, I'm always going to struggle, gosh, that's literally setting up the rules of how your life is going to unfold. It's just going to be a struggle. I mean, I read it all the time in other groups I'm in. Like this one girl, in one of the prep, like real estate prep groups I'm in, somebody had said something about, well, it happens all the time. People who say that they suck at taking tests, they have a hard time. Oh, she said she had a hard time retaining information. So she's only a visual learner and blah, 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 which I don't know exactly what a visual learner means when it comes to learning real estate, like principles and stuff. So I'm like, how does that, I can't conceptualize that. But anyway, because it's usually like auditory and like reading. And she said she's the reading part, which I get. My whole course was reading. And that pretty much sucked. I would have taken a different course for sure. But so I told her something and then I came back and I was like, well, wait, first of all, it would be very beneficial if you would stop saying that you have a hard time retaining information. Now, I rarely pipe in anymore. Occasionally. It's just like to say something like that because a lot of people don't believe it, but a lot of people do. Because I'm like, I don't go very much further than that because I really want to say you're creating your own reality. Like I don't go far off. I just don't want to deal with anybody anymore. So, anyway, everything that we say, we're creating the rules in our life. So I hear it all the time. Every time somebody says something like that, it's like, okay, it's kind of like the whole, your wish is my command. Okay, you can't retain information. Guess what? You got it. Don't retain, you suck at it. So, it's like that. So it's the same with your business. So say, God, Mondays are always slow. Okay, guess what? Mondays are always slow. Now, it's, like when Abraham's like, well, people come to them and they're like, well, I observed it. So, and at that point it doesn't matter, but it just, you create your own reality. My husband and I used to have the same job. We used to, a few years ago when, I was my grandmother's caregiver, I couldn't work because she was bedbound and I couldn't technically leave the house. Like she couldn't get out of bed and she was well taken care of. But because she couldn't move, she was not quite paralyzed, but almost paralyzed. She was like that for 4 years when I had her. So, so I didn't work and I was trying to be a coach, but it's like the hardest job I've ever done was take care of her. It was hard. That was the hardest 4 years of my life. But I wasn't making any income. She was from retirement, but I wasn't. And it would have been nice to have more money. So at that time, and my husband was doing the exact same thing with his father. His mother had passed away, and then his father, he's still alive, but he was taking care of both parents for a few years, and then just his father. So we were in the same spot. So I took a job with DoorDash because I'm really good at it. But back in undergrad, many, many, many years ago, I worked for Domino's, and I was like the best driver for 5 years. I had the best shifts, like, closing on the weekends. And I was really good. I was delivering in my neighborhood that I grew up in, which is like up Northeast Phoenix, North Scottsdale. And so I was just really good, really fast, really efficient. Made really good money back then. Like, we're talking 25 years ago. And I was making, back then as an undergrad, I was making like up to $16 to $20 an hour, 25 years ago. That's so cool. So I was really good at it. So I'm still really good at delivery. It's just one of those things. I'm excellent with directions. I know where I am all the time. Phoenix is really easy. It's a grid. So anyway, enough about that. But so it was super easy, flexible, no boss, nothing. I could work when I could, and I didn't have to when I couldn't. And so I did that. And so we would work a lot of the same nights. And so he would say Thursdays were not busy. And I was like, Thursdays are really busy. We both were experiencing two different realities in the same exact neighborhood, same exact area, same exact time, same exact everything. So the variables were all the same. What was different? Our belief systems. So literally, this is what I talk about with business and marketing and all that good stuff. Like, people, the only measurement of, like, the only thing that matters is your belief system and your vibration, right? Your belief system. Like I was talking about, I think yesterday, about my YouTube channel, that my RPM is like triple it's insane. I was watching a YouTuber today who has 250,000, actually has 300,000 subscribers. And he's like, an RPM of 10 is really good. It's really good. You know what my RPM today was? 24. And it just keeps going up every day. It goes up every day. Every single day it keeps going up like $1. It was like, it's gone up. It's insane. And, the more that I see it going up and the more that I sit here and say it's going up every day, it keeps going up. It keeps going up, guys. And that's how. So this is tomorrow's message. I read ahead. Tomorrow is exactly what I just did. Every time you think positive thoughts about your business, you become a magnet to attract new clients. It is that easy. Or to attract even better results, or to maintain your really amazing results. So we'll get to that tomorrow, but you have to amp up the success. So a lot of people would be like, oh my God, it's such a fluke, and oh my God, blah, 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 right? I can't even say it because I don't want to have it. So you know what I mean? So when I have success, I'm like, hell yeah, this is awesome. And I know to keep affirming it, attract more. The sky's the limit, like completely unlimited. There are no rules except for the rules that you create, period. That's it. So no more listening to other people about, oh, well, this is how it is, or this is the average, or you're not going to get higher than this, or you have to get on the phone with people. You have to get on the phone with people, and you have to like pre-qualify them. No, you don't. You could trust the universe that the universe knows what the hell it's doing. So on this show, every Thursday night, we watch Undercover Billionaire, or we try to, but it comes out Thursday night. Hold on, let me get my drink. So Undercover Billionaire, you should watch it. It's cool. Grant Cardone, which I kind of feel like he's totally full of shit because he's failing at this challenge. Like, I'm not quite sure. I think he just talks a lot. You know what I mean? Like, he's just motivational and that's about it, because I'm not seeing much really good strategy at all. He's kind of floundering and not really doing a very good job. And I'm like, wow, this guy's not really all that. So I'm like, this show's making him look like crap. So anyway, so talking about pre-qualifying clients. Okay, so because I said this about him, that he should have done it. And let me tell you why. So he's trying to get an investment. He's trying to get investors for this apartment building. And so he went to a local barber to like see who he knows. And so he gets this haircut and he's just talking to the guy, and the guy's like, yeah, I've got some friends that are looking to invest, some small businesses looking to invest in something cool, like real estate, people trying to get into real estate. And he's like, oh yeah. If I can get their, contact information, that'd be awesome. So Grant calls all these people up, or the guy does, I don't know. And he gets them in a room, like 8 guys. And he's pitching this like multi-million. I think he put the offer of $9 million to buy this apartment building, but he needs investors for the down payment, I believe it was. So I think he was trying to get like $200,000 down payment, which doesn't even sound right, but, or it might've been just like an earnest or something, like it's really low, for 9 million, but whatever. The numbers are the numbers. $200,000 he needed to come up with just to get going. Right. So he was looking for like people who could invest $20,000. And so he does this pitch and he's not very good at it. I don't know why. But he, like, nobody was like excited about it. Nobody gave him money. Nobody did anything. He like didn't accomplish his goal. And so I'm sitting here like dying inside in the show because these people are so full of resistance that sometimes it's not very fun to watch. So this is the time that I say pre-qualify the people you're talking to, because it continued on. He's working with a business partner, and the business partner knows everybody in town, and he's setting up all these appointments for them to do this marketing company, because Grant's got all these companies in mind that he's trying to start. And so most of them are just not big enough or make enough money for the packages, because they want to charge people $5,000 or $10,000 a month for a year to do their marketing. And these are small business owners that don't really have $5,000 to $10,000 a month to spend. And so he just kept striking out. And I'm sitting here like, you have to pre-qualify. Now, the reason why I say this is because Grant is not in this aligned space. He's full of resistance, full of hustle BS, right? All of that. He's stressed out, like maximum stress level, because he kept saying he was going to quit the show because he can't do this and it's really hard and all this stuff. He's like wound tight, right? He's probably all that like that a lot. But so he is stressed out. And so he's just putting a lot of work in, right? A lot of action, but it's not producing results because it's so misaligned. But what I'm saying over here on our side, the aligned ones, right? We're meditating, we're visualizing, we know what we want, we believe in it and all that good stuff, that we can completely trust the universe will bring us our clients, the perfect ones. because one of my rules was that I only work with perfect clients. Got it? So pre-qualify if you're like wound tight, full of resistance and like screwing up everything. You know what I mean? Like do that because it would be smart, because he wasted a lot of time, in my opinion, because he wasn't really learning a whole lot from this experience. He was getting more discouraged by the whole thing. So yeah, there's that. So anyway, let me see if I can still find it. I stopped looking during my story here. I just can't find it right now. See how I just said that? I just can't find it. I'm really good about not saying stuff like that and just be like, okay, I can find it. I know it's in here. Just wrote a lot in here. I know I can find it because I'm curious as to what I had written. So I try to affirm what it is I want. Like, let me see. I know it's in here. Well, maybe I'll find it this week sometime, some other time. Instead of saying, oh my God, I can't find it. I can't find anything. You know what I mean? So anyway, so rules in your business. What are they? So I don't reach out to people. I don't reach out to clients. They contact me because I'm a business owner and I'm open for business. So they contact me. I put my stuff out there, like my posts, my ways to work with me, my website or whatever it is. I put it out there. It's kind of like fishing, but like the people that know that it's kind of like, yeah, the cooperating components, right? So if a fisherman puts a line out and a fish takes it, they're cooperating components with each other. It's not like he just stole the fish, like hooked the fish and now the fish is like, oh no, it's cooperating components. The fish knows what it's doing. So anyway, so I put the stuff out there, the bait, right? Now I put the stuff out there to attract my ideal perfect clients that I want to work with that are aligned. Like my current business, my latest business of loan signing, it's called Aligned Signings. Everything is aligned. So when I don't get a job, because they're sent to me through text message and email, like all day long, I turn down most of them because they're really far from me. I'm far from Phoenix, but these are like even further. It's pretty comical. I just kind of laugh at the ones that they asked me to go to, and I'm like, in the middle of the night, in the middle of the desert. I'm like, no. Let's not do that. I just don't drive at night in the desert ever. I don't ever do it. I stopped doing it a few years ago. It's just too dark for me and too many wild animals. But I know it's aligned. Like I know that I work with amazing people. So that's like a rule right there. The things that I state become rules. I work with amazing people. My clients, my signers are the most amazing people. They are. They really are. So I don't know if I pre-paved that too much before I started doing my work. I don't think I thought much about it. I was just not sure, right? Because I hadn't done it yet. But once I started doing it from the very first phone call, the guy was amazing. And then I go out to his house and he is just the coolest guy ever. The coolest guy ever. We were so much alike. And, he lived in an air park and he had an airplane right there. And he reminded me of my dad and all this, just so many similarities. Such a joy. It was like all of these signings, like 80% of them could be like really good friends of mine right now. Like that's how amazing it is. And so this is just like tomorrow's message of every time you speak positively about your business, you're attracting more of that because you're a magnet. You're a great big magnet of vibration, and whatever you're feeling, you attract. So, and once you get some success, especially milk it for as long as you possibly can until you get the next one and the next one and the next one. Let me tell you, a few days ago, I was just in this total space of ease complete ease of like, oh yeah, everything's great. Everything just comes to me. The more I'm on vacation mode, the more I'm relaxing, the more I'm just like chilling, doing things that I feel like doing, the more that things come to me. They're just easy. Things have become so easy now. It's like, yeah, I want it. Okay, cool. It's coming. So you get to set the rules in your business. So pay attention to the things that you say about your business, about yourself. If it's negative at all, you got to stop. You got to make yourself stop and say, okay, what do I want? What do I want? I want amazing clients. They're so fun. Amazing clients are so fun because I can sit there for like 2 hours chatting with them. And that's so cool. And I'm like self-proclaimed introvert, and I love sitting for 2 hours at a signing that should have taken 20 minutes. And everybody's enjoying themselves because why? Because that's what life is about, enjoying yourself. So there you go. Okay, so you get to set the rules in your business. Pay attention to the things that you're saying because every belief ends up being a rule. Every belief is a rule. That's how your life will unfold. So let's see. I like waking up with the sun. That's basically a rule for me. I wake up every morning with the sun. At some point when that sun hits, or right before, the twilight or whatever that time is, that's when I start moving around. And typically it's because I have to go to the bathroom. And I will tell you that I don't drink that much before going to bed. I refrain so much before because I don't like getting up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. I really don't like it. So I've refrained from a lot of liquids at night, but I still will wake up to use the bathroom at like 5:30 or 6. And it's right before the sun rises. And I'm like, come on, really? It's probably the universe, my inner being, making me, get up because I like getting up with the sun, right? It's an important thing to me. So think of all the rules, all the belief systems that you have about your business. Now, I know somebody who would struggle with the whole online internet business thing, like creating courses, doing the tech stuff, which I get. I understand. Like eventually I kind of got it with I think Kajabi was my last one that I used, and it ended up being a lot more simpler than anything else. But for a while I struggled. And so it's kind of like that whole thing of like, I suck at technology. Okay, well, guess what? I can never get this to work. My sales are terrible, or whatever you're saying, you're creating. So pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Okay, I'm going to let you go because I need to go to bed and you might need to go do something else. So I will talk to you again tomorrow. Have an amazing rest of your Thursday, and bye-bye.